Here is how you can make eye contact during public speaking much more effective to engage your audience. I learned that focusing on a few key people in the room instead of trying to make eye contact with every single person can completely shift how your audience connects with you. This small shift has led me to become way more confident, more engaging, and less overwhelmed with the actual experience itself. When you make strategic eye contact, it feels like you're talking to each individual in the room, when in reality, you're only talking to a couple people, your champions per se. Your audience will feel more engaged, they'll trust you more, and you'll come across as more confident, whether you're presenting at work or speaking at an event. This technique will help you feel much more in control and confident. You might struggle in terms of where to focus your gaze, feeling overwhelmed with the idea of having to look at everyone and make eye contact with everyone to make them feel engaged. Maybe you feel a little disconnected. The audience feels a little disconnected. You may lose focus a little bit, all because you're unsure of where to look. Listen, I've been there too. Trying to look everywhere at once, it's just going to make you feel scattered and anxious. Eye contact is crucial when you're speaking because it builds a connection with your audience. Research shows that public speakers who make eye contact with their audience can be deemed as more trustworthy and credible. It's a powerful way to engage your audience and make them feel like you're speaking directly to them. I personally used to struggle with eye contact all the time, trying to look at every single individual person in the audience. This left me feeling scattered, anxious. I would just lose focus. And it was very visible to see that the audience just wasn't connecting to me. But learning how to focus on a few key people, everything changed. I felt more grounded in control, and the audience felt way more engaged. So here's the problem with trying to make eye contact with everyone when you're speaking. When you try to look at everyone in the room, you end up looking weak. Fleeting eye contact doesn't resonate with people. It spreads your focus way too thin. And instead of feeling connected, the audience just feels like you're glancing over them. And then when that happens, you tend to feel overwhelmed. You're not connecting with anyone. It also may be hard to keep your thoughts because you're constantly trying to shift focus. And I've experienced this, and I can firsthand tell you, it is stressful when you're in that situation. Looking around, like constant fleeting eye contact without looking directly in the camera or looking at that person or looking at that crowd. Find those champions and look at them. Because when you're at that distance, it's kind of hard to tell, like, okay, are they looking at me and looking at this person right next to me? Like, you don't want scattered eye contact because it'll just make you seem flimsy and nervous. And the last thing you want the audience to see is that you're not confident. So here's a solution. Instead of trying to make eye contact with every single person in the room, just focus on key different areas in the room. This gives the impression that you're connected to the audience without necessarily overwhelming yourself. Pick out someone from the front, back, sides. Shift your focus naturally between them as if you're in a group conversation. It'll help you appear more confident and ensures everyone in the room will feel like you're engaging with them. And trust me, it'll make you feel so much more psychologically more confident and relaxed because you're not nervous trying to make sure everyone feels involved. You're not trying to look at 100 people at once. So for example, right, you want to look at the left side and you'll stay at them for a couple seconds. And then, the front of the audience, we'll look at over there, look at them over here. Then the right side, look at them for a couple more seconds. You want them to feel like you're talking to you, not talking to everyone, because no one cares about everyone. They care about their individual self. And that's your goal, to talk to them, that crowd, as if you're talking to each and every single one of them without directly talking to each and every single one of them. You want them to feel important. And the benefit as the speaker, it'll boost your confidence. When you see your audience is engaged, it'll make you feel grounded and not worried about all the other things that you have to already focus on, like the tonality, your pitch, how you're coming across, right? It'll reduce your anxiety. And instead of feeling like the whole room is staring at you, you can just act as if you're talking to one person, multiple people. It'll look a lot more natural and intentional. Looking at the audience point of view as well, it'll make you seem more engaging and focused. To deliver eye contact will create the feeling that you're talking one-on-one with them, which, constantly in this channel, we're preaching. You want them to feel important. That is a goal for every conversation, for everything you do. Make them feel important. Don't stare at one person too long. Make sure you hold eye contact throughout and switch it up. And use pauses to make strong points, right? When you give your pauses, make sure it's aligned properly. So to recap, when you're public speaking, focus on making eye contact with a few key people in the audience. That way you're not trying to talk to 100 people at once, and it'll create a much stronger bond with the audience where they will feel more important, but also you will feel more confident, and it will release some stress that you're already having to deal with just the fact that you're up on stage or the one presenting your information.